What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. Peace and love, party people in the place to be. This is the BKMC, the MCEO, the Little Lebowski Urban Achiever, Talib Kweli. This is the world's best podcast, the People's Party. And that's right, it is the world's best podcast. Shout out to all the other podcasts out there, but nobody's giving you cultural currency and relevant information like this one. Shout out to my lovely and talented co-host Jasmin Leigh in the place to be. What's up, Jasmin?
What's up?
What's up, Jasmin?
You know what, Talib? I'm feeling starstruck all over again today.
Why?
I saw you on my TV screen last night.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are hitting me up.
Yeah, a lot of people are hitting me up, too.
I like your Canadian tuxedo you got on there.
I just got out of a music video, so thank you.
Was it like taking place in the 90s?
It was yes! That's exactly what I was going for. Awesome. Kudos to you and your fashion sense.
That's right. Well, today's guest is a legend. Not just a legend in the making, but a legend right now. He has solidified himself as one of hip-hop's most innovative producers. In addition to beat making, our man is a rapper, a singer, a songwriter. I recently said on this show, because so many guests bring his name up, how his raps have impressed me, because I was late to his rhymes. Mm-hmm. Behind the boards, he's worked with everyone from Kanye West to Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Kid Cudi, Nas, Jesus Christ. He's worked with Beyonce, Jesus Christ. We want to talk to this man, not just about him. So I won't be able to list every single artist that he's worked with or every single project that he's had his hands in. But without him, we would not have incredible hip-hop classics like Niggas in Paris, Click, Racks in the Middle, Sicko Mode, Drop the World, and Sorry. This is an amazing run. He has done a couple of projects with the homie Big Sean, We the Plug with HS87, Nas, King's Disease 1 and 2, the mixtapes Hitstory, Love Notes, and a Hit Boy Christmas, and you know how I love my Christmas albums. His longtime collaborator and our recent People's Party guest, Dom Kennedy, said this about our guest: there haven't been 50 people since Jesus Christ who do anything with music better than him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Hit Boy in the place to be. Yes.
Crazy introduction.
Yes.
Crazy.
Tripping all this swag. What's good, bro?
Appreciate you having me.
Thank you for coming.
That was an ill intro.
Hey, man, you did that.
I was back there watching it.
You did that. What's going on with you and Problem?
You talking about the homie?
Yeah, I'm seeing on the gram y'all doing something.
Man, it's crazy. I had landed back from New York. I was out there shooting a video and literally came straight to the studio because I had some things I had to pick up, and he was in the parking lot playing a joint I did for Puff. Like, it was just the craziest timing. Like, I pulled up to the gate, I'm like, sound like something I made, and I pulled in, and I'm like, damn, it's like, as soon as I touch down, it's already going down.
No doubt. No doubt. Shout out to Problem.
Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah.
It's real fun.
You were raised in the Community Arms Projects in Fontana, California.
Nah, so Community Arms is in Pasadena. A lot of my family lived in the Community Arms, but I stayed off like Lake and Orange Grove. That's like a intersection out there. Like, a lot of people know what I'm talking about. Then when I turned 13, I moved to the IE. So I'm like a blend of both. You know what I'm saying?
And how did your blends shape you as you were growing up?
Oh, crazy, because I mean, I got my real start in Pasadena. You know, my uncle was in a group called Troop. Like, they they one of the biggest things to come out of Pasadena.
Rodney Bedford, right?
Exactly, Rodney
Spread
B. So
my wings,
right. So I had that dynamic, and then I also, like, my pops was like heavy and like, he from PDL, he was banging, whatever the case, and I just saw, two different worlds, and then, pulling up to see him, at Long Beach State Prison when I'm like 3-4 years old, like, that definitely like clicked in my brain to be like something that I didn't want to be a part of, you know what I'm saying? But I fully, understood it. So it's just like, it's like the best of both worlds, man. I got to see the highest of highs and the lowest of lows at a young age, and really try to get a grasp on it.
Wow, word up.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about your relationship with Surf Club, Chasing Cash, B-Card, Chili Chill. Man.
Well, me and BC, our family knew each other before we was even born. Like, we always been like basically brothers, you know what I'm saying? And Chase, I met off MySpace in like 06, you know what I'm saying? He was actually living with Sean Kingston. He from New Orleans. He came out here to LA and was living with Sean Kingston, working with him. We met on MySpace, and Then I had came out from Fontana. That's where I was living at the time, and picked him up, and we went back to the IE and just made a gang of beats, and then we just like kind of made him a part of Surf Club. Me and BC already had Surf Club along with the homie Chili Chill, but when we met Chase, it just made perfect sense, and he saw the vision as well.
And then quickly,
I shout Stacy, Kent Money, all the homies, G-Rod.
Yeah, definitely. You very quickly though, when you was a teenager, started linking with Polo Da Don, right?
Yeah, when I was, I think I met him when I was 18 or 19 off MySpace again.
MySpace, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. MySpace was so important for musicians at that time. TikTok is definitely the most important app right now. Yeah. But there was a time when MySpace really, really helped my career because I was able to connect. I'd already had a good run in the industry. I had 1 or 2 hits, but you become the type of artist. For me, it was like I was respected for the hits I had back in the day, but I wasn't getting the companies to market and promote me the same way they did back in the day. And so MySpace allowed me to connect with my fans directly.
Exactly. That direct connection is everything. And that's how I met Polo. I just would, change out the songs on my page. Like I would put instrumentals up or remixes of popular songs that was out. And, it was just attracting more and more fans. And then Polo hit me out of the blue. Like I followed him, didn't hit him, but he just ended up hitting me and was like, man, I'm trying to lock in with you. I can, I'm not just a producer. I can help you really build something. And yeah, man, it's crazy. Shout
out to the people in the game who are cracking, but always still reach out to new artists. That's a beautiful thing.
I do the same thing now, man. If I catch a vibe on a song, it could be an artist with 5,000 followers. If I like the song, I'm gonna hit them up like, yo, I like this. You know what I'm saying?
Perks of social media. What? Who was in y'all's top 8 in MySpace?
The whole Surf Club for me, for sure.
For me, it was I was doing blacksmith music at that time, so it was Strong Arm Steady, Jean Grey,
crazy
people like that. Yeah.
Man, that was some drama about who you were putting up in your top friends. I got in a lot of drama with that.
Oh yeah.
You produced "Niggas in Paris," one of the greatest rap songs of all time. Can you take us through the creation of that beat and where did it start and what was the evolution?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't talk about this in probably a million interviews, man. I would honestly rather like talk about what I just did with Nas, which is like probably more important than, a lot of things I've done. Like it's crazy because I feel like I've had a bigger run, gotten more, I guess acclimated with the people, like people knowing me more. And I haven't even had like the big, Niggas in Paris top 10, number 1, whatever the case is. I just been on a consistent run, and that's more so why I feel like every interview I go into, it's the first thing is like Niggas in Paris. I done talked about this so many times, and it's not to disrespect your question at all.
We just like to go through your whole life.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what I just did with Nas, I feel like they're my best beats by far up to this point because they my latest body. So that's just where I'm at. Like I feel like the creation of Ultra Black, you know what I'm saying, is something that could be talked about. Just like,
well, let's talk about Ultra Black. When I heard that, I'd already been familiar with you as a producer. It wasn't really until I started connecting with Dom that I really understood the full scope of what you do as an MC as well. And so when I heard Ultra Black, I think of these big records that you did that your name is associated with, Click and Niggas in Paris and all this. I was like, okay, yeah, he clearly got some beats, right? But Ultra Black and King's Disease, that beat for King's Disease and the beat for Ultra Black, when I heard that, I'm like, damn, I need me a Hit Boy beat. And I had never, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, you were on my radar, but Nas had the vision to see some shit. Like with Ultra Black, I heard that it's a theme for the Kaepernick show. That's such an important record, and that's like y'all remixed it or revisited it, right?
Right. We that was whatever the producers of the movie, they hired somebody to do it, and Nas just sent it to me one day, like check it out. I thought it was dope, so that's fire. But just like capturing that moment of how heavy life was, and all the police brutality and everything going on, and for us to make something that celebrated us, but it wasn't, it was uplifting versus like trying to make you feel so heavy. You know what I'm saying? But we still giving you the facts, still giving you the realness, but just like uplifting, our people.
Do you think Nas was dissing Doja Cat on that song?
Nah, he just was having fun with words.
He was having fun with words,
That's
right?
That's it, man. You know how it is.
And Doja Cat, rhyming Doja Cat with Ultra Black is some God tier MC level shit.
I mean, it's Nas, man. We got to expect the illest.
He thought of every single rhyme you could rhyme with Ultra Black. I didn't even know there was that many Think you could rhyme with Ultra Black.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't expect him to come with Doja
Cat, right?
The Cure, the song The Cure.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that you had heard some of the Black Star records. The Sweetheart, Madlib produced the whole Black Star.
Crazy.
The new Black Star
big
record.
Respect. Man.
Yeah, shout out to Madlib. Nas actually laid a verse on a beat, on a Madlib beat, that we were going to put on the Black Star album. But then Nas took that verse. You know, we've been working on the album for a long time.
Word.
Nas took that verse and used that verse on The Cure.
Oh, wow.
So I got a Black Star song with Madlib with Nas verse from The Cure.
That's crazy.
On it. Shout out to Nas. We need a new verse from you for the Black Star album.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this, you know, just about music. You could take an idea that was, you know, just a small idea and flush it out to what it needs to be. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, the title track, is a stellar track. Nas, this is a pet peeve of mine. Nas, I feel like people go out their way to look at a conscious artist and try to condescend him and try to say he's corny. And I feel like Nas has been so ill with the pen that people have been like, Nas is not good at picking beats. Have you heard this accusation before?
I mean, come on, man. For sure, I hear it. And it's just, you know, people start narratives and then just really try to run with it. But, I mean, he rapped on some of the best beats ever as well. So
yeah, the first album is Premier, LES, Pete Rock.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's crazy because his track record, and then he got with Salam Remy and them. Yeah. They got with you. His track record proves that he doesn't pick terrible beats. He works with some of the best people in the world.
I mean, you know, as an artist, man, you pick what's inspiring you in the moment. Like, however you know, everybody else look at it, that's what inspired him to want to lay his, you know, soul out on the track and put his words down, his thoughts, you know, and that's just what it is.
Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar for a second. You produced one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs, Backseat Freestyle. When you heard the different gears he went into on that beat, where your beat was able to allow Kendrick to go, what did you think when you first heard that record?
I thought it was insane because I didn't even picture that beat being, you know, used in that type of context. It was actually an R&B song on top of that beat before Kendrick did it. That was really legit supposed to come out, and it never came out. And I'm glad it didn't. So just when I got the song back, you know, I just was like, this dude is just different, man. Like, he really is that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had heard him do, you know, shift them gears on other songs and stuff before, but just like the way he blacked on that. And I know he's, you know what I'm saying, still to this day he could perform that song.
Yeah, what Kendrick did on that Super Bowl was crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he bodied that.
So,
I ain't gonna lie.
One of my friends, she posted, she said, where did Kendrick Lamar find all of those David Banners lookalikes?
Oh, that's funny. David, that's funny.
I like this Janet Jackson control.
Man, his energy was out
phenomenal.
of there, man.
Yo, for the West Coast, for hip hop, that was such a huge moment.
Yeah. And I just had 4 songs on Snoop album that just dropped back on Death Row, you know what I'm saying? So just that whole moment, like, crazy for me.
Shout out to Dog.
Word.
And shout out to Kendrick, definitely.
Yeah.
I get why you would want to take the niggas in Paris question and be like, let's talk about the new shit. I get it. I feel like, you know, we had some delays trying to make this happen. I feel like God wanted the Kanye documentary to come out first before we sat down.
Crazy. It's funny because just to like see, you know, y'all little back and forth that y'all recently had, and then when you popped up on the screen, I just was like, wow, life is beautiful like that. It's just full circle, man. Right. Crazy.
You know, Kanye obviously had a huge impact on me.
Yeah.
He had a huge impact on you.
Definite.
What bothered me the most about what Kanye said, not the most, well, yeah, what bothered me the most about what Kanye had to say about me was the whole, I was posing as a backpacker. Because that made me feel like, that's not real. And just him taking shots at my pen game, because that's my lifeblood. Yeah, that's who I am as a man. So I made fun of him by posting, I did a post where I said, shout out to all the ghostwriters who have been making Kanye West with these dope bars. And I shouted out GLC and all these people, and Malik Youssef and all them. And GLC and Malik Youssef came and they said, well, we're not technically ghostwriters. We help out. But I'm asking you about this question because the whole thing about the producers and the people who produce from Kanye West's beats, and that's kind of like you and him had a falling out back in the days behind him being upset or beat or something like that, right?
It gets deep, man, and it's funny because I'm a pretty private, reserved person just naturally, and I don't like to bring up too much shit. But the last time, which wasn't that long ago, we just literally did a song with Game, the Easy joint that I contributed. It was his idea for me to even add to the production, so it's still love. But he literally admitted to me that he was on some bullshit with me for real. You know what I'm saying? Like he shouldn't, like basically admitting like everything I've been saying is for real. Like he know he was on some bullshit. So, I'm just trying to really get the energy going in a positive, way from here out. That's just what I told him. Like, it's all love on my side. Like, I didn't say what I said, you said what you said, and literally felt like, he admitted he was trying to hold me back basically and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy to me because, like, as I was watching the documentary last night, what kept popping in my head, I was like, I don't like what he said about me. I don't like certain things he say or do, but he don't really lie. You know what I'm saying? Like he admitted that he was on some bullshit. He admitted in Drink Champs, I was being a poser. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to tour in the back in the days, he used to fuck up on the road and then come and apologize. So it's just interesting to me that part of his issue is like
you was the one who let him rock out on stage, right?
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like that's priceless, man.
But see, go ahead. What you saying?
I don't know. Because I watched it last night, and I watched it so early because I kept getting text messages like, "Oh, Kanye's giving so much love to Talib or whatever." But when I was watching it, I was like, I do feel like he kind of was posing as a backpack rapper. Do I think that he should have been talking down about what you were doing? No, but then he also was like he was in between Raucous and Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And that's what he had his own lane. He was.
Well, at that time in the city and at that time in hip hop, in order to be taken seriously as an artist, you had to fuck with me and Mos and Common and Dead Prez and what we were doing. In order for the hip hop heads to respect you. And Kanye's is brilliant, so he understood
he's a businessman.
Yeah. And so when I watched the documentary last night, I was thinking like, okay, he said he never liked my raps. I said he was posing as a backpacker. Well, when I met Kanye West, he didn't come to check on me. He came to check for Mos Def. He was looking for Mos Def. I just happened to catch him. It's like, play me some beats. And then I took him on the road and I took him to shows, but it's never like he went to me when I met him. It was like, yo, I really fuck with your raps. But he was respecting at the time the access I gave him to other things.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
For sure. One of the smartest.
Yeah, he understood my platform, and so that's why he was fucking with me. So it's like, okay, he's not really lying because he's saying, well, I was posing at that time. And that's disappointing because I feel like he should be smarter than to be a poser.
I mean, I feel like Kanye just says a lot of shit that's on his mind in the moment. Like, because I've seen him change his mind, like, about his views on certain shit quickly. So it's like, you can't even really, like, fault bro. Like, he's a different dude, man.
He's different.
And he's been the same.
He's different, definitely.
He's been the same.
He has been the same.
Since,
he's been the same. He's hilarious. He's one of my favorite people on earth because he's just funny as shit for no reason. Like,
he said some shit that was mean about me that was funny as fuck. I'm sitting there laughing at my own expense. I heard that Kanye didn't want you to use beat tags. And I've heard you talk about that. But what I want to ask is, Big Sean gave you the beat tag Berserk, right?
Right.
And you felt like that was like he appreciated you. Why did you feel the need to be like, nah, I got to let these people know who made
honestly,
these beats?
It's crazy because like I just seen somebody tweet the other day, like, because I didn't use no tags on the whole Magic album for Nas, and I didn't use no tags on the Snoop album, and somebody was like, damn, I already missed the tags, and I just was kind of using the tag as a motivating factor because I felt like I had so much catching up to do with myself and just where, just by me focusing on too much when I was at the height of everything, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I spread myself too thin. So these last 3 years, I'm just dumping back to back, like, you know what I'm saying? And I see people in the streets, I see artists, I see producers, and the respect level has completely went up, and that's just because I sat back and I just focused and I just was doing beat after beat. And like the thing for me with the tag was like that, I don't know, it was just like a motivational thing at the moment, just for me to, I guess, I don't know how to put it, man. It's just like keep perspective on things.
Yeah, we're moving out of like the singles era out of the album era into the singles era. And me as someone who, my whole thing is crafting great albums. Yeah, I know with you like when somebody come to you, let's work. You're like, let's do a project as opposed to just a one-off.
Exactly.
Which I appreciate. But also, for me as an album, albums I'm doing with different producers, I wanted to feel cohesive.
Yeah.
And so I always, making my albums, would take the tags off.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I'm like, we all in this together. It's not about your name in this particular project.
Yeah.
But as someone who respects producers, I do understand why you'd be like, nah, fuck that. I need my tag on there.
Nah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Like producers definitely, like, you know, especially up and coming ones, they get forgotten about quick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really like be working overtime just to be considered in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got my very first producer of the year nomination at the Grammys. This ain't no year. That's not a year of me having 20 #1 hits or none of that. I just been consistent and everything been quality, and I've been getting to the souls of people versus like just trying to trick their mind with a quick sound. Like I'm doing joints like, you know, Dedicated for Nas, like the King's Disease intro, The Pressure. Like it's like I'm just hitting different levels, and I'm just really trying to impress myself still at this point. Just like really like just go to the next level.
On Nominated, which you did with Dom, who was here, one of our past guests, you talk about the Grammys. Let's talk about the Grammy nod Racks in the Middle received, and what was it like working with Nipsey?
Man, that was a crazy time. It felt like a movie them last like, you know, few weeks, and the times we was working on Racks in the Middle, just how focused it was, just all the things that was going on, and just him, you know, doing 3 verses on the song, and people don't even really do 3 verses. That's like right. It's like he really got a real message out. That was pretty much his last official release, like as far as his stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know he did the Khaled joint, but that was a Khaled joint. Like I'm talking about a Nip. That was really like Nip last for real song.
And it sounded like Nipsey music.
And he left it all on the floor, you know what I'm saying? He got out a lot. He cried in them sessions. Like my bro got out of prison and Nip bought him bottles, and then Nip ended up leaving. I'm like, damn, you ain't even gonna fuck with the bottles? Like he just was that type of dude, just solid all the way around. And man, that just was a crazy time, like watching him, you know, not take no for an answer. Like I was trying to get him to stop after he did the second verse. I'm like, it's done. It's a joint. He like, nah, I got more to say. And yeah, just for it to work out like that, we won the Grammy and all that. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to bro, for sure.
Rest in peace.
That beat brought that out of him.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so you got to work with the Queen. And I shook your hand. So in my mind, I shook the Queen's hand. So let's talk about Flawless and Sorry, both dope songs, women's anthems.
Great songs.
Huh?
Great songs. I played Sorry when it was out, but Flawless.
You ain't sorry?
Sorry is dope, but Flawless I still play.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's what's up.
Were you able to gain any unique insight while working with her?
I mean, you always going to, you know, gain some type of insight just by nature, being around somebody of that stature and that level. And, you know, not just that, you know, that level, but the focus. Like, she's focused like an artist who's still starving. She in the studio trying to find it, trying to push the boundaries, trying to push the music side and the vocal side. And that's something that, you know, you gotta, you know, take in and appreciate. It's like, it make me look at the way I create different, like just trying to find them layers that just really work. Like with Flawless, like that was basically just a beat. Like it had the melody and had the drums and the bounce, but it was her arrangement and her putting them vocals in the background, and then the quote in the front from the I don't know if she's a speaker, a poet, the lady who's talking in the beginning. That's like all pretty much like Beyonce's genius, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people might not know. Like she not just like one of the biggest people out here, a pop star, whatever you want to call it. She is a true genius when it comes to the music. And that's, I feel like, why we connect, you know what I'm saying, on that level. Yeah,
it was very brave of Beyonce. I think she gets slept on in terms of her social consciousness. You know, in our community, feminism is often looked at as a bad word.
You think Beyonce's getting slept on?
When it comes to her social activism and when it comes to her,
she gets slept on in that. Complaining every time, like, oh, why don't you do it? I got you.
No, like, you know, with her, the choices she made around her Super Bowl performance, that was, you know, on the big stage. But even with Flawless, this is a black woman talking about feminism at the beginning of that record. Right. And a lot of people, and there's some righteous critiques to be made about white feminism and how white feminists have left out black women. And we talk about it on the show, how black women created womanism in the 70s to push back against, like feminism can't be about cutting out men. Feminism can't be about cutting out black people. And so, but for Beyonce to own that word feminism from a black woman on that song was a brave choice.
Yeah, that was ill for sure.
Yeah,
she weaved it in and made it enjoyable, man, and that's what it boiled down to.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, Beyonce is a genius, and she's just not one to be like, I'm a genius. But it's like we all see it, because like even when her documentary came out, like watching how she works, and like, I mean, Virgos are already like very meticulous in everything they do. It was just like, wow, it's not just because she's a performer, it's not just because she's a dancer. She has the whole package. You need everything in order to be a star like she is.
Word, I agree. One of my favorite things you did was when you shared your deal information online. And I felt seen and heard as an artist when you did that. And you became sort of the face for artistic freedom from foul business practices because of your brave stance. These companies are predatory. They prey on us. Like with Black Star, we had a similar situation that you had with UMG. So break that down, why you needed to share that information.
It just had been a long time of me trying to, be polite and go to people and go to lawyers, go to the UNPG office, and and it really, honestly, I'm not gonna say no names, but it was somebody this is after years of me trying to just get in there and fix my deal. Nobody want to fix it, whatever the case is. Somebody in the office, it was like, man, you might have to go rogue. You might have to just put it out there and let, the people know what's going on. And that's like, what I'm saying? I feel like that's one of the ways that's going to help you. And I really sat back and thought about it, and like, what I'm saying? Instead of like, being ignorant about it and just cussing on my whole, caption, I'm just like trying to put it in a way that's digestible for people to understand. Like, I dedicated, a lot of my life to this, and I've made them money, and I've done a lot of things, and just for the way that they treated me, it's insane, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like I had to do it, and I definitely feel like I had so many messages from creatives who, was in similar situations. You would think you feel like you the only person in it when it's that bad, but it's like, no, it's a lot of people going through this, man, and that, I'm glad I did it at this point. I was able to make some progress in that situation. I'm still not where I want to be for real, just if we being transparent, but I'm in a decent place for sure.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Me as an artist who has a similar situation, I appreciate you putting it out there like that.
It's crazy how many artists are calling out these record labels now, because you have NBA, Youngboy that's been calling out, Bobby Smurda, like just catching everybody and just still not just doing the right thing. Because everyone
it's just so, they making so much bread, you know what I'm saying? And they like you said, like the predatory, like I was 19, right? I'm 1 year out of high school. My pop's in prison. My uncle was popping back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really have no guidance on how to really move, you know what I'm saying? And like got caught up in a deal that had me in the same deal through my, like I'm 34 now, I'll be 35 in May. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just now refreshing my deal like a year ago. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Like just even for my contribution alone, you know what I'm saying? It should have been like somebody at the heads of the company, like let's fix this kid deal. Like it's ridiculous at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just what it is. So I'm really just like reaching for complete freedom, complete, just take my power back in everything I'm doing.
Oh, I love it. I love this generation determination, because even like you said, you're 35, so they looking at you as the old dude now.
I'm an OG.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch your mouth, Talib.
When we was in the studio doing Easy, and
30 is the new 50.
We're the same age.
Like somebody had brought up a young producer while we was in the studio working on Easy, and I just said like something about him being a young boy, and Kanye laughed. He like, damn, it's crazy that Hit Boy is now calling somebody a young boy, because I was the young boy.
You was the young boy.
Like, wow, man, time flies.
It really do. When you talk about Kendrick, I was remembering you and I used to have a house in LA, and my ex used to do a radio show out of the garage, and you and I came through as guest Thursday, and they brought K-Dot. You know what I'm saying? That's how I met him at my house.
Crazy.
I heard him spitting. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard him spitting, and it was like, who is that? Like, why does he sound like that? I couldn't understand it. And we ended up doing a record that I held on to, pushed through, because I knew. I held that record for like 3 years. I dropped it a year too early, though, I think. I dropped it after he dropped Swimming Pools. I feel like I should have waited to a couple Grammy noms and then dropped it.
That's funny.
I was too hype.
That's how it be.
But now, I say that to say, now younger artists look at Kendrick like, he's old.
Word. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the game, man. It's just evolution. But it's, I mean, like I said, look at the Nas situation. Like, it took him 15, 16 noms to get his first Grammy, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like he more on the wave right now than a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
Nas aging backwards.
He's still running, he going. Yeah. So it's like, you coming off of 3 successful albums, man, like, and I feel like this is the first time we put pressure on ourselves because he said KD3 on the way. This is just to feed the buzz. Like that like really make me focus because I know people gonna be listening intently and they gonna want to tear it apart. So I'm gonna have to go crazy on the beats.
King's Disease feels like a blockbuster franchise the way that y'all rolling it out.
Word.
You know, it's like it feels like Fast and Furious or some shit. Like
crazy.
Your sound is so ubiquitous that you can capture anybody's vibe. And I think you captured the Benny the Butcher vibe very well. Word. Tell me about linking up with that amazing MC and working with him on that project.
Man, that was just, I just seen he was in town. Like, I was rocking with Griselda. Actually, Hov was the first person to put me on Griselda years ago, like 2015, maybe 2016. I just had seen how Benny was moving and the type of verses he was putting out. Seen he was in town, hit him up on the DM. I'm like, bro, you got to tap in, pull up to the stool. And when he came through, like first song we did, it was just on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. So I think it was actually the song that became the first single and the outro on the album, the Legend joint. That was the first joint I think we ever did. You know, so we started on a high, and it just could only keep going crazy from there.
But I'm a legend now. Right. I feel that song. I feel that song.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go back to King's Disease for a second. Moments, great song. I was confused about the Sister Soldier lyric for a second. Because it's like, I wish I could talk to Sister Soldier. I'm like, I got her phone number, bro. She's
right. Now, what was the next line? He said something.
Then he said, and they said something about she's still alive, so I still have a chance to do it.
Exactly.
But when I first heard the lyric, I was confused for a second. But Miss Hill is on that record.
On Nobody. Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Tell me about working with Miss Hill. How did y'all pull that off?
That was all Nas, man. I still haven't met her, but he just sent her the joint. Because that was the joint we wanted somebody on. Like, he had the 2 verses, and he was like, we need to just have somebody sum it up on the third. And I didn't know who he was going to run with, and he somehow, you know, I mean, they homies, though. You know what I'm saying?
They was touring together.
They was talking, whatever, and he sent her the song, and she sent it back within days, you know what I'm saying? And just like, when I first heard the lyrics, I'm just like, wow, this is something you just don't think could happen, you know what I'm saying? Like,
who's getting a Miss Hill verse in
a rap verse, and it's like
20-something
bars, and she's saying something, and she sound like she's serious.
And she's addressing the now.
Yeah.
She's addressing what people say about her. So it's like, oh, I've been hearing what y'all been saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how she came on that verse. Like,
you know, my I don't know what to call her, but she was talking about how the Miss Hill stood her up. And then I brought up the conversation. You're like, we were talking about it on the show. And Talib was like, she's earned the right to stand you up. And she was like, she has.
That's funny.
Yeah, if Lauryn, if you have a relationship where Miss Hill can stand you up, then you're doing the most.
Oh, no, it wasn't like,
life.
She went to a concert. She doesn't know her.
Oh, okay. But still, if you were privileged enough to buy a ticket for a Lauryn Hill show, that means you lived in an era where Lauryn Hill was doing shows. Word. You should say thank you.
Right. I thought,
Word up, because like, Nina Simone used to like, there's stories of Nina Simone stabbing audience members, bro.
Oh, wow.
Nina Simone didn't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? She was cursing white people out, the whole shit. She was,
crazy.
I went to see Nina Simone perform at Carnegie Hall, and she did Mississippi Goddamn. And the performance was so searing that the crowd was like, when she was finished, she goes, I'll take that applause now, thank you. And everybody was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I met Nina Simone at a Lauryn Hill concert in Paris. Nina Simone was sitting in the chair watching Lauryn Hill, and Nina Simone's my musical hero.
Word.
That's Kanye sampled Nina Simone more than anybody. And so I'm like, I go up to her, I'm like, excuse me, Miss Simone. She goes, shh, and points at Lauryn.
You got the shush.
I got the shush, and I got to like, don't talk to me now. Don't you see what she's doing? I couldn't have asked for a better interaction.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was genuine.
Yeah. And so I feel like Lauryn Hill is the Nina Simone of our generation. So even if you went to a concert that she didn't show up at, or there was some sort of negative interaction, whatever, we were blessed to be here with her.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Different levels, man.
Let's talk about Big Sean. something about your connection with Big Sean. I mean, you and Nas got a connection. Something about you bring something out of Sean.
Crazy.
That's crazy. He's an incredible MC.
I mean,
but
we more in the same like age group. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a connection that's you can't fake. You know what I'm saying? And we understand each other on different levels. We could talk about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And really gain perspective from each other. So I feel like that's where it starts, and then it bleed over into the music. We in the studio. We might just be talking for hours, just chopping it. Then boom, I put a beat on, and the whole conversation is already in the room for us to put it on the song.
I am forever impressed with Sean. Like when I think I can't be more impressed with him, he impresses me more. The beat flip on Into It is dope. What Sean is doing bar wise is masterclass level.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, man.
He be chopping them. It's like he one of the only dudes that could take like them trap type beats and really bar up on them. Like he not just putting in filler bars just because it sound cool with the way the beat is moving. Like he not every line he's thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure that it's connecting and that he's saying something that's impressive. It's just it's insane. Like he one of the best at that.
He is. Shout out to Big Sean.
Shout out Big Sean. I don't fuck with you. Okay, so speaking of Big Sean, he's talked about your legendary parties. I'm not going to get on why I haven't been invited yet, but
man, that's been a minute.
Oh, so you're not doing parties anymore?
I haven't thrown no parties in a minute,
COVID?
but I used to. Yeah, I used to, man. Who knows?
I've heard about these legendary parties as well.
One day I might get back to that, man. But I just been focused, man. I've been, I've been having to catch up to myself. Like I said, that was another thing, throwing parties and living that life. And I mean, niggas come from nothing, man. Like for real.
And also, you're growing up, like you you go through a party phase. We're still young, Talib. So you know what I'm saying? Like we're still in that in and out. But when you were doing your parties, like what would be your like perfect party planning recipe?
Honestly, man, I couldn't even tell you. Them parties used to just crack on they off the strength, I guess. Like people just like had this, Hit Boy throwing a party, I want to pull up. Like it wasn't even too much to it. Like we had the crib, the pool, the alcohol, and the vibes. You know what I'm saying? And
Pool
just kept it simple. I was like
20.
I was like 24. I had a deal with Jimmy Iovine. Like Jimmy Iovine, when he met me, called Lucian Grange on the phone, like, yo, I met the next Dr. Dre. This Jimmy Iovine himself, you know what I'm saying? So just like, I was really in the mix at that time. And I just, man, I feel like with my label situation, I just didn't have the right infrastructure. Like everybody I hired that was working with me, everything I was doing, I feel like it was all to be a learned lesson. It wasn't what I wanted it to be as far as the success of everything, but like in hindsight, like I gained so much knowledge by doing that. Like I didn't get my deal when I was 30 something. Like I got my deal when I was 20 something, so I was able to F it up and get back on, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that's a super blessing.
Yes, indeed. I feel like a lot of great records probably came out of them parties.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Shout out to Chase Infinite. I meant to shout out Chase Infinite earlier. That's such a good dude. When Chase was working at Prohibit in New York City, he was managing and working with the ASAP crew.
Right.
And I used to see Rocky and them around. Rocky and Ferg in particular, they used to come to the Black Star shows. They used to come to my little shows back in the day. But I always kept my eye on them because I'm like, the mixtape and the music they was doing at the time, because they wasn't really on at the time. They was like popping, but it wasn't on. It sounded like Houston music to me.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, kids from Harlem, a dude from Harlem whose real name is Rakim, doing music that sound like it's from Houston, and he's showing up at my shows.
Wow.
And he has the vision to everybody in the crew got the same name. It was ill.
Eclectic, man.
Rocky
Rocky is one of the illest, man, for real. He just lived this lifestyle culture, like he just it oozes through, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just the swag, like he just got it.
But musically, I didn't really catch up to what he was doing until he started working with you.
Oh, that's crazy.
So when I heard Goldie...
Goldie was like his first official like single release, I think, on his label type shit. So yeah, that's crazy, man.
But that sound, that's the Rocky I like. You know what I'm saying? Like at One Train. Bro, when One Train dropped, that fucked me up.
Crazy.
That fucked me up. And everybody sounded so good on it. Yeah. Everybody was trying to out-rhyme each other. Tell me about making that record.
That was actually... I had did Goldie with him and this like the first day we linked. We did Goldie, and I don't know if we did one train together. I feel like I might have just sent him that beat, and then he, presented the idea like with everybody on it, and that's another Kendrick joint, like Kendrick spaz, like you know what I'm saying. I feel like that's something that ain't been tapped into all the way. You know what I'm saying. I know it's all timing, bro doing what he do, but I feel like if me and Kendrick was to link up and do like some project type shit, it'll just be a different level. And it's West Coast, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
it might be time. He's making big moves right now.
Word. I mean, shit, man. One day we'll see.
Word up.
He did kill it for the young ones. But anywho, they talk crap about me when I say anywho, and like now it's like I can't stop saying it ever since it's been brought to my attention.
That's funny.
But what's next for Hit Boy?
What's next? More music, man, more projects, but really something I'm focusing on is I've been seeing a lot of people say I should do a compilation with just my beats and various artists, you know what I'm saying? So that's something I'm gonna really put some focus into and just, see who I can get on there and just like go up as much as possible.
Well, I'm going to put it out there. First of all, thank you for giving us your time and your energy. It's
word.
valuable. It's
Appreciate
appreciated. We love your output. I'm going to just put it out there. You and I haven't worked together, so I'd love to work with you.
Done deal, man.
Maybe we could do a project.
I just told you on the way in. I heard something unreleased y'all got.
That's right.
That's ridiculous. It's like, that's just crazy,
No doubt. Maybe we could put it down for pointed, directed project, like a thematic project with a theme. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I would love to do stuff because you see it in movies.
I'm into that, man.
Well, you heard it here first.
You got it.
Shoot your shot, Talib.
The People's Party is proud to have Hit Boy. Thank you so much.
Man, thank y'all, bro, for sure. Respect.